Alright guys, welcome to video number 16, and now that we took care of all the boring stuff, the main menu, and downloading images, and setting up all the classes, we can finally go ahead and hop into the play state. Now the play class is where we're going to be doing most of the coding, and it's actually where the user is going to be spending most of their time walking around the world, so let's just go ahead and I'll shut up and start coding. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to set up a couple animations. Now, go ahead and type that so I don't mess that up. Now there are going to be kind of four different animations, four or five depending on how you look at it. An animation is basically going to be Bucky walking. As of now, all of the things on the map, such as the trees and the buildings, those stay in one place. So the only thing that's going to be moving is Bucky. However, we don't just have one animation for Bucky. It's actually four different animations moving up, walking down, walking to the left, and walking to the right. So these four different animations, Bucky is going to be set to one of these depending on which way he's moving. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make an animation called Bucky, just because this is pretty much the default Bucky. This animation is going to be set to one of the other animations, basically, depending on what direction he's moving. So the second animation is moving up, which is the animation that's going to play whenever he's walking up, and moving down, moving left, moving right. And I know that you guys don't know how to create an animation yet, but I'll explain that whenever we get to it. For now, just remember that there are going to be four different animations for moving up, down, left, and right, and Bucky, depending on which way he's moving, is going to be animated to look like he's walking in one of these ways. So the next thing I need to do is I need to set up or pretty much load the main map. So image, and I called this world map. Basically all the land, the building, the trees, that's what this image is right now. So after this, I'm just going to go ahead and make a boolean, call it quit, and set this equal to false by default. Now what this variable is going to do is whenever the user is playing the game, we're going to give them the option to quit the game just like we gave them the option to exit the game on the main menu. So we're going to be giving them an option to quit the game whenever they're playing it, and whenever we do that, of course, this variable is going to be set equal to true, but we'll see that more later on. So after this, what I want to do is I want to make an int array, and I want to call this duration. Now the reason I want to do this is because whenever you have an animation, you need to tell the animation how long do you want the animation to last for. Well, in order to do that, you actually pass in an array of numbers. So let me just go ahead and code this first, then I'll explain it. 200, 200. I guess I might as well give you guys a real quick explanation of how animations work in Slick 2D. As you know, just like movies or a flipbook, an animation is made up of a series of images. So once you play image after image after image, each image is slightly different. However, once you play them in a row, it kind of looks like one big movement or one big animation. So in Slick 2D, each of these images is called a frame, and the duration of how long you want each image to last is specified in this array right here. So basically what we're saying is, okay, whenever Bucky moves up, it's going to consist of two different images. The first image is going to last for 200 or 2/10 of a second, and the second one is going to last for 2/10 of a second. So this entire animation of moving up is going to happen in less than half a second. So basically just remember that in order to create an animation in Slick 2D, as you guys will see later on whenever I show you guys the code, but you need a series of images, and you need to tell it how long you want each image to last, and when you put all the images together, it's going to look like something is being animated. So with that long-winded example, let's go ahead and code some more simple variables. Float Bucky position x, set this equal to 0, and of course what this variable is going to do is keep track of Bucky's position in the game. And if I copy this and add another one but call this Bucky position y, this is going to keep track of, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, his x coordinates and his y coordinates. So by default, 0, 0, Bucky is going to be at the starting location 0, 0. Now, what I want to do now is put float shift, I'll do x first, x equals Bucky position plus 360. And let me go ahead and code these tutorials. Excuse me, code the frickin' tutorial. Code these lines first, and then I'll explain to you guys what I'm doing. Y and Y. Alright, so basically what we're doing right here is we're setting up a variable to shift something 360, and also this should be 160, and this should actually be 320. Because the entire game, let me go ahead and run this real quick. This entire window right here is 640 pixels wide by 320 pixels tall. So in order to have Bucky in the middle of the map, what you need to do is you need to get the coordinates for half of those. So when you shift it 320 over and 160, what that's going to do is it's going to give us the coordinates 320 over and 160 down right in the middle. So basically what's going to happen is whenever you move Bucky, he isn't going to go like this. He isn't going to walk over and, go off the screen and start walking into your, freaking desktop icons. What he's going to do is he's going to walk, but the map itself is going to move. So Bucky is always going to be in the middle of the screen, and the map underneath it is going to be moving, which is going to give the appearance that Bucky is actually walking around the world and allow him to have a map that's bigger than your game itself. So it's a pretty cool technique, and once you guys see it actually in action, it's going to actually be really cool. So now we basically have all of the variables set up. We have all the animation variables. We're about to load our image itself of the map into the game, and we keep track of Bucky's position, and this is just for Bucky being centered in the middle of the screen. So now that that is all set up, we're ready to move on to the good stuff. So for now, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.